Hello, hi. I'm here just for friends on Facebook to post a video or a few videos, surprise, surprise, about coronavirus. To be honest, I was a bit reluctant to do it because I know that there's loads of stuff about coronavirus out there. But I've had a few friends and family asking me for advice, and the reality is from Monday I'm going to be homeschooling, so I'm not going to have a lot of time to do this. So I just thought I'd put my thoughts and evaluation of what we've heard on a couple of videos for you in case that's useful. Why are people asking me? Well, I work part-time as a research scientist in infectious diseases at Warwick University. I'm not a virologist, so this is not expert advice. This is just me looking at all the information that's available to everybody, and just sharing what I think about that, perhaps with a depth of understanding that I have because of my background that I thought might be helpful. Because most people I'm speaking to are one of two groups. They're either thinking that this is quite an overreaction, or they don't know what to think and are just scared. So hopefully I can calm some of those fears, or I can help you decide what is the serious advice that you need to take action on and what is more just rumour. So hopefully that'll be helpful. I'm going to try and keep them short, so I'm going to do it just as 2 or 3 videos. This first one's just going to be an introduction, and then I'm going to look at some of the characteristics of the disease and what that means for how we need to manage it and what we need to do as individuals. And then if you want to post questions in the comments, I will, if I have time, do another video with answering some of those questions if I can. But as I say, I'm not an expert in virology. This is just my opinion if it's useful to you. So the first thing to say in this video is just that pandemic of this type is not a surprise to scientists. They were expecting one to happen at some point because of the nature of our globalised society, that we're highly connected with travel and things, and also because we actually have really good medicine to treat infectious diseases, which is a great thing. We have good successful vaccinations, and treatments for a lot of infectious illnesses when we get ill. And that is a good thing, but what it has led to perhaps is a bit of a relaxation in our attitude towards the threat of things like this, which means that perhaps we don't think about those things enough in planning. So, for example, things like the wet markets in China, I'm not an expert on them, I can't comment on that politically, but maybe risks and things aren't considered because the level of threat isn't really very real for us. And also things like people choosing not to vaccinate and stuff. That's just the reality of how people respond when they feel safe, which is a good thing that they feel safe, but it has led to this. But my point is the good news in that is because scientists were expecting it, they have had the time to model and give plans and emergency plans for how to respond. And as of today, in a scientific briefing, our chief scientific officer and medical officer have said that so far what is happening is following the expected model for a situation like this. So the mathematical and scientific modelling is at the moment appearing to be quite a good prediction and quite accurate. And that can bring us reassurance, because that means that the advice that they're providing, if we follow it too, should cause the effects that they've modelled, which will be positive effects of controlling this and making it manageable for us. So that, if that can be any reassurance or good news in this situation, is the first thing I want to say. The other good news is that, again, I don't say it flippantly but it isn't as bad as it could be. There are other diseases and viruses that could be a lot more contagious, that could be more deadly and could be harder to control and affect a greater proportion and demographic of people. So although this is serious, and I'm not making light of that, and I just want to reassure you in my first video to say this is not as bad as it could be. So we need to look on the positive of that. And I'm going to say a bit more of that in my second video about how contagious this virus is and its characteristics and how we can respond to that. So I'll get that in a minute. Thank you.